Association of Financial Advisors of India in association with Resurgent India presents live webinar on Rethinking Credit Ratings for SMEs Looking Beyond the Balance Sheet. Moderator Mr. K.K. Gupta, Director, Resurgent India Limited. Mr. K.K. Gupta is the Director at Resurgent India Limited, specializing in corporate finance and management consultancy for SMEs as well as large corporations, handling substantial financial transactions. He also serves as a task force member for government MOUs and on the grievance committee at Power Finance Corporation. With a 36-year banking background and a tenure as General Manager at Central Bank of India, he holds degrees in economics and bank management. Eminent speakers: Mr. K.H. Patnaik, Chief Ratings Officer, Brickwork Ratings and ex-Chief General Manager, Canara Bank. Mr. K.H. Patnaik, Chief Ratings Officer at Brickwork Ratings and ex-CGM of Canara Bank, brings 40+ years of expertise in banking, credit and risk. He has led major portfolios, chaired credit committees, and served on boards of key institutions, offering deep insights into credit governance and institutional finance. Mr. Nikunj Dubey, Director and Head ESG Ratings, CareEdge. Mr. Nikunj Dubey, Director and Head ESG Ratings at CareEdge, is a seasoned ESG and credit risk expert with 14+ years of experience. He leads sustainability assessments and ESG model development aligned with global standards. His unique blend of ESG and credit insights makes him a valuable advisor to regulators, investors, and institutions. Dr. C.A. Chaitanya Shah, CEO, Chaitanya Shah & Co. Dr. C.A. Chaitanya Shah is a chartered cost accountant, bringing 45+ years of experience spanning senior corporate roles and SME advisory. A PhD holder, author, and faculty member, he has guided numerous entrepreneurs, contributed to industry committees, and conducted seminars to empower Indian SMEs through strategic, financial, and management insights. Mr. Manish Jain, Managing Director, Feenman Advisors. Mr. Manish Jain, founder of Feenman Advisors and a chartered accountant, brings 16 years of experience in credit rating, SME rating, and IPO grading. Having worked with CRISIL and Citicorp Finance, he excels in credit consultancy, risk evaluation, and advising businesses on improving their financial and risk management frameworks.
Good evening, friends. I'm your host K.K. Gupta again. I am a Director of Resurgent India and Director of Association for Financial Advisors. We welcome Dr. Kailash Pinjani sir, who is a business growth expert and is best-seller author of 5 books, serial entrepreneurs, and managing partner of Vencapt Business Ventures, which is supporting startup for getting angel investors and special government subsidies. Mr. Kailash has been instrumental in experimental growth of lot of companies and investment in hospitality, publishing, technology, and education. Friends, this is our under the banner of Association for Financial Advisors. We have already completed 57 webinars under the series of associations. Beside that, Resurgent India banner, we have done 242 webinars, different subject. Today webinar is most important webinars. What we are rethinking of the credit rating for the SME sector and looking beyond the balance sheet. So we try to invite all our rating agency people, including Shri KJ Patnaik sir, who was also in a banking as a chief general manager of Canara Bank. Now he's looking after rating agencies. Mr. Nikon Dubey sir, who is a director and head of ESG rating. And above all, my friends, Munish Jain, who is architect of the rating, who is helping the entrepreneurs for rating. And we are also experts under the field of SME sector, who has recently written one book on the SME, financing and banks, Dr. Chaitanya Shah. So these are our speaker, which we have already given you introductions. When we are talking about the SME sector is playing vital role in the development of the economy. Whether we are talking about the GDP or we are talking about the capital investment or talking about the exports or employment generations, anything you talk about, they play an important role. And rating agencies, we are talking about the rating because today's subject is the rating. Rating is a brand image. When we are talking about the brand, any company having a brand, then they know dearth of financing. Bank will after them. So if rating agency give a good rating to any entrepreneurs, I think there is no problem for getting a finance from the banking sector because bank is asking for that. Major aspect is credit. Only 12 to 14% of the banking industry share go to SME sector or getting a finance from the banking sector because bank is that point. What we are talking about is a deficit of 45 trillion. It can be gap. How the gap can be filled up? So that's why we are thinking that beyond the balance sheet. A rating agency, how they can be helpful to the SME sector. Rating agencies, ratings determined the credit growth. And there are different parameters under the ratings which we consider for the financial health of the party. Either we are talking about the financial statement, we are talking about the operational efficiency, we are talking about the management competency or industry risk and credit history of the party. These are the important aspects. So banking also consider as a repayment history of the party before deciding the rating. If any party default even a single days, that means their rating has been degraded. So we are going to discuss total aspects. In our experience of a research in India, when we are talking about as a banker also, so most of the SME sector is graded in a B or a C category or double B category, not an investment grade. Why it's happening so well like that? Because bankers are morely or rating agency are morely considering the financials. What about the non-financial position of the party? That we are also going to discuss. And what about the seasonal industry? There is a cash dip. So how seasonal industry rating can be available? And whether the GST or digital information available with the vendor can be considered by the rating agency while they are deciding the rating. That means, as per the financial minister also told, that the banker should not ask the financial statement from the party. Instead of that, they should collect from the digital medias or from the balance or from the account statement. From the other source, you should collect it. So we are going to discuss total aspect of the rating. So now I invite respected Dr. Kailash Panjani sir. Panjani sir, this I want from you. How rating can be used for better brand building? Because in the outset I told, brand is important. When we are talking of the Tata, we are talking of the Reliance, banker are after them because their brand image is there. So how you feel that rating is a brand image? And rating can be considered as only financial tools? What also a brand tools also? I think these are most important aspect. Kailash sir. Dr. Sir, please give your thought on the subject so that we can start with you only, sir.
Thank you.
Kailash sir.
Thank you, K. Gupta sir, for such a nice and diverting question, because everyone would be speaking towards financial side of it, or domain of credit ratings. But I'm an entrepreneur too. So I want to talk as an entrepreneur because I run my own businesses. And when I run
Yes.
my business, how do I look at credit rating for my business? So it's very simple word. I would say credit rating. That means someone is rating me how credit worthy I am. It's a very simple word. But is it true only for the bank? No, because bank is one party which gives me credit. But can I take credit from my vendors? Yeah, because we when we take materials, we give them payment later on. That's called credit. Again, can I also influence my customers while dealing the sales transactions? Can I do that? Yes, I can do that too, because when customer sees that my credit rating is A or A plus, they trust me because someone has stamped us as a company that our credit ratings are very high. So they know that if this company is following structures, their company is following the proper guidelines. So looking at an entrepreneur, for me, credit rating is a very, very important. And I would like to, urge all the entrepreneur friends of mine who are listening to us right now that don't take this as a financial tool only. Yes, it will help you get the bank loans and credit from the bank, which is very important, because if you want to grow the business from here, wherever you are, to the next level, if you are in couple of crores, you want couple of 100 crores. If you're in couple of 100 crores, you want couple of 1,000 crores. We are looking for next unicorn to come out from this batch. If you're listening to people who are listening to, and I know if you want to grow your business, you want to start next factory, next country, next region, you want to hire people, you would definitely need a lot of money. And how do you get that money is majorly from the financial institution. But difficulty is how would they trust you? Again, they will look at your credit rating. So I'm urging SMEs, because when I work with large companies, they take care of their entire systems, the financial systems, the cash flow systems, operation efficiencies. They do everything properly. So it's easier for credit rating agencies to give them higher ratings. But as a SME, it is my request to all of you that work on the systems, and not for the bank, not for the credit agency. It's an habit. How you do anything, how do you everything. So if you decide that I'm going to follow the systems, then let me tell you, even just implementing the proper accounting systems, your cash flows would improve so much that your requirement of funds would go down. How many of you understand what I'm saying? Cash flow is what we look for every month. Profits would come after a year, or sometime it will be stuck here and there. Our CAs will say that you have profits. We ask, where is the profit? Because cash flow is the king. Just working on the entire operational efficiency, your cash flows will improve. And whenever you get a good rating like A plus rating, A rating, don't just leave this in a documentation for the bank to look at. I want you to highlight this high rating on your websites. I wanted to highlight these high ratings on your presentations, your brochures, your business card too, because it's a very big, golden feather on your shoulder that you are a very highly credited company, that you got a very high ratings. So when you use this rating on your website, brochures, business cards, as well as on the documents, you will see your sales will start improving a lot. Your vendors will start trusting you more, because end of the day, it's a factor of a trust, and someone who you trust is the brand. What is a brand? Definition of the simplest definition of brand is a trust. And these credit rating agencies are going to help you design that trust for the market. Only you got to follow the principles, how they rate you, and you got to give importance. And lot of side effect benefit you will get when you work on your processes, systems to enhance as per the credit rating agencies. So this is from my side, Gupta sir, because when I worked on my companies on making systems and processes, yes, bank loan became easier, but more than that, I became more free. I can roam around everywhere because I'm not a slave of my own company today. Because of the rating systems, I had to design systems. And when systems are in place, company runs automatically. I don't have to work on my company. So that gave me a lot of byproduct benefit other than getting the funding from the financial institution. This is from my
Excellent, Dr. Saab. Dr. Saab, excellent, Kailash. What you are talking about the cash flow. I think today period, bankers should insist for the cash flow lending instead of a balance sheet lending. I think the assets-based lending की जगह जो है, what you rightly told, and the important aspect, what you are talking about, the trust. Trust is the most important aspect. Dr. Saab, we are thankful to you. I will come back to you also. Now I am coming to Mr. Patnaik, who is a seasonal banker, a chief general manager, ex-chief manager, and now he is looking after rating agencies. Sir, you have seen so many up and down in the banking sector, and mostly we are looking after the balance sheet. Beyond the balance sheet, as a rating agency, whether you can look into things, because as we say, as Mr. Dr. Kailash says, rating is also brand image. Once you give a rating to any SME sector or to any party, to banker give loans. If you are giving A rated, double A, triple A rated, and if you're giving a C rating or a D rating or a B rating, so bankers say it is a risky venture for them to give a finance to them. So how you weigh for the SME sector whether the rating agency should look beyond the balance sheet? Please, Mr. Naik, Patnaik sir, please give your thoughts. Patnaik ji. अनम्यूट कीजिए आप पटनायक साहब अनम्यूट कीजिए प्लीज अनम्यूट कीजिए आप पटनायक जी हाँ प्लीज प्लीज प्लीज
Good evening, everybody. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Gupta ji and Dr. Kailash ji for their opening remarks on the present topic today. In fact, the today's topic of webinar is very, very important, looking at the contribution of the MSME sector to the Indian economy. And there are certain nonsenses in this segment on rating of the MSME sector. And as a professional from banking and financial sector and the rating industry today, let me give you some of my thoughts on what is the present scenario and what is expectations from the industry as such to improve the rating profile of the MSMEs. Just I have a very brief presentation. I just prepared it. I'll keep explaining a presentation only to show you what is the insight. I'll give you explanation to what it is. So let me share my screen to all of you. So it will give you yes thought how the rating will be, how the MSME ratings presently being done, and how what changes are expected to be done. Just 1 minute, I will share my screen. Is my screen visible?
Not so, it is only Zoom is coming, nothing more.
1 minute, 1 minute. Yeah. Now screen is visible?
No, it's not you. Only
Okay, fine. I will just speak on here.
you can speak. You can speak on the subject. No problem.
For example, you see the today what is the what is the present status of the MSME sector in India today?
Now it is visible. Now it is visible. Tell me.
Now it is visible? Good,
Now
good.
it is visible now.
Yeah. So now if you see, today MSME contributes around 30% of India's GDP and 1/3 of the manufacturing sector's output. And almost 45% of exports are coming from MSME. This is the importance of MSME sector today in Indian context. And it is employing almost 12 crore people in the industry. And women owns around 21% of the total MSME segment and 19% of the total employment. This is the present status of MSME sector in contribution to the Indian economy. And if you look at so many initiatives taken by the government of India and respect to state governments and also other banks, institutions, digitalization has gone up substantially. And 72% of the MSMEs transactions are going on online. That is giving a transparency and governance for the stakeholders to see that the transactions are genuine and they are happening. And 43% of the MSME sectors are undertaking e-commerce business. Earlier, it was not at all there. Today, the importance has gone up so much. See, MSME segment people are into e-commerce business. And what are the limitations today? Traditional assessment. What is happening actually in reality? See, as of today, the banking sector assessment of MSME is something different. Basically, it is a collateral-based lending. If you see the industry as a whole, banking industry as a whole, as of today, the collaterals held by the banking system from MSME segment is close to 50%. Asset-based financing, collateral-based financing is traditionally being followed by the banks. Of late, such changes have come. Banks are looking at cash flow-based financing and all. And also based on GST returns, how is the turnover as per GST returns? Can I give 50% of the turnover of as per GST returns or 25%, 75%? Like that, banks are coming with new product to support the MSME sector in the recent times based on the market developments which are happening. The flaw existing in MSME financing by the banks is number one is collateral based lending. Number two is lack of financial information. This is the one major area. If you look at major segments are small and medium sector MSMEs. Large MSME sectors are limited, but micro and small sectors are very huge. They can't employ employ costly CFOs or CROs and all. They cannot have the balance sheets with a structured manner. So that is another second lack they have today in the industry. Data points, of course, formal institutions like banks and institutions are meeting only 30% of the MSME credit. Remaining 70% again still an unorganized sector. If a case study, a profitable retail MSME with steady UPI transactions, no collateral, is denied a bank loan for want of either security or this. This is the major challenge. So next, coming to rating granularity. Whether this rating, this also you are able to see?
Yes, we can see it. Please go ahead.
See, if you see that current practices, most of the MSMEs are clustered into double B rating category. Almost double B, B, C and D put together almost 80%. Sub-investment grade MSMEs. Because the existing ratings done by CRS normally taking into account 4 types of risk. One is business risk, other one is industry risk, number 3 financial risk, 4 is management risk. This is the standard normally by and large followed by the CRA industry as a whole to award the ratings. Whereas if you see A, AA, AAA all put together, triple B itself around 10%, A, AA, AAA represents around another 10%. So this is the scenario today. So normally what lenders happens, all banks look at the external rating for the simple reason that they have to get the capital benefit. Suppose they get a better rating, their capital requirement will be low. Accordingly, the pricing also depends on the rating. If a AAA rating MSME will get only 20% risk weight, so bank is benefited by the capital charge, thereby they'll pass on the benefit of rate of interest to the client. So the problem is then why better ratings are not available? That is the big question mark. See, the problem is though MSME sector is contributing so much, almost 40% of the MSMEs have shown a more than 30% top line growth in 2023. So there is so much of potential to see beyond balance sheet to do a rating. The thing is whether are we in readiness to do the same. See, coming to the other aspect, untapped ecosystem. What are the new things which can make the rating industry to look at it? As a professional, let me tell you what changes that can happen, what changes that industry expects in influencing the rating. Number one is your GST filings. That is very much available. And if you see the kind of GST collections grown over a period of time, starting with a very, very small number, today GST collection even crossed 2 lakh crores. So that itself shows that number of clients coming into GST system are very high, and GST returns will give you a fair idea of the kind of business happening in the enterprise. And UPI transactions, NEFT transactions, card payments, almost everyone, even small time vendor, even micro, small MSME unit will use the UPI system today. Nobody accepts cash. So that itself also gives a lot of insight. And vendor payment behavior, how he is paying to vendors. In timely is paying within 60 days, 90 days as agreed. So timely payments and supply chain linkages. Many MSMEs today have a lot of supply chain linkages with both suppliers, vendors, and the ecosystem, entire ecosystem. And now almost 70% of the transactions are digital mode. So this is also largely, these are the data available in public domain, which is not being used either by the banking system or by the rating agency, and they are not inputting in their assessment. So any case study, if you say a normal moderate balance sheet with monthly GST payments, prompt vendor payments can be examined for a better rating. That's what my thoughts. So what is the way out? Suppose if you think that this is the way we have to put input for the rating, other than beyond the four risk factors what I explained, if you have to input the GST, vendor payments, everything into the ecosystem for giving a rating, what is available? Now, whatever GST filings, digital transactions, vendor payment behavior, all the things can be used through AI, ML, or big data, or large language models can be used to aggregation and cleaning the data, and pattern recognition of how the patterns are, and risk scoring algorithms can be developed through the AI models, so that can give you dynamic risk assessment and greater granularity and real-time updates. So there is a way out, how you can use this ecosystem, whatever public domain data available to you, that can be used by the both industry, banking industry, as well as the rating industry, so that MSMEs can be benefited. So see, of course, capacity building is a continuous process. All of you are aware there are many institutions run by government, state government, central governments to give knowledge, understanding of the financial system, understanding the financial statements. Lot of training sessions, activities are going on, conducted various private agencies are also conducting. So capacity building among MSMEs is of course required, so that the remaining leftover people also can come to the system, automated system, either through GST or 100% UPI payments, 100% transactions online. So that is going to help the industry to showcase it. Of course, what is the way forward? SME top line growth expected to be from 15 to almost 20% range in the next 3 to 4 years. The credit access to the industry should also expected to grow around 80%. This is what the expectation of the industry. See, these are all the things what I am talking now is from the public domain information available, and as a professional, I analyzed the data available in the public domain, and these insights in this webinar definitely will go a long way for the both banking and finance sector and the rating agencies. Of course, this is what I thought process. A couple of questions are given to Mr. K.K. Gupta that in fact I covered in the slides, but more insights if you want I can give you.
Mr. Patnaik sir.
Yeah.
Mr. Patnaik, what I
Yeah.
am talking about,
Yeah.
you're talking about the investment grade.
Yes.
80% of the SME sector below the investment grade.
Correct. That is the as per the industry
So
statistics available.
major point as a, you can say as a ex-banker for putting a very important position of CGM, and now you are working with the rating agency. Have any thought for that? Because you are basically going for the financial statement. Whether in non-financial statement, you can also assess something so that the SME sector can be useful, the rating can be improved, because what you talk about, why the credit is going up, because bankers are feeling they are risky proposition. When you are giving the double B rating or a B rating or a C rating, or even one day, if your account has gone out of order, you are reducing to a D category. So how you justify for such a rating to the SME sector? That is a major point.
Yeah,
Have any
I
thought on
agree.
that subject?
I agree with your point, sir. There are two things. All these CRAs are regulated entities of SEBI. Primary regulator is SEBI, secondary regulator is Reserve Bank of India. Okay. So
Okay.
fine. They have given a broader perspective of how rating has to be conducted. But nowadays, most of the rating agencies are taking assistance of artificial intelligence and machine learning tools are being brought into the system for rating. So and my expectation is right now, yes, traditional methods are being followed by either both banks and financial institutions as well as rating agencies. But definitely, I'm very sure going forward, there will be some thinking is happening to change the model and see that different model can be evolved to see that how rating can show a better, whatever not appearing in the balance sheet, whether that can be factored as a one ingredient in the purpose of rating, finalizing the rating. This being thought process is going on. Hopefully, I think industry, both banking industry as well as rating industry, definitely, I feel they recognize this importance of this ecosystem and see something better can happen. That's what my belief as of today.
Agreed, sir. I am thankful to you. I think your viewpoint is well taken because it requires improvement under the SME sector because SME is a backbone for the economy and you cannot take them in otherwise also. So for rating agency, about 80% you are talking about are below investment grade. Definitely the bank will be hesitant to give a finance. When
Naturally,
you are giving a
150% the
C
risk weight.
rating or that is 80% is a very hard
Yeah,
rating.
for banks
I
also the
think that is a
problem
point.
is if it is sub-investment grade, they have to make 150% risk weight, cost of
Natural.
capital
I agree with
requirements,
you. There are so many
similarly
factors. There are so
finance
many factors.
cost. That's what is impacting. Definitely,
That's why,
there
sir,
should be
we
a
are asking you
yeah.
that we are asking you, please see that some SME sector should be good. Now I'm coming to Dr. C.A. Chaitanya Shah. He's a chartered come cost accountant. He's a master in finance and has done PhD. And he has written so many books also. Now his new book is coming on the SME financing, banks, and I think that will be released shortly. So, Dr. Saab, that's I want to from you. As you listen to Mr. Patnaik, rating, rating play important role for that, for financing. 80% are below the investment grade, what he talk about. So, have any suggestion to the Reserve Bank of India, sir? Because you have studied so much, so written so many books, so many things. SME sector is I think, in your blood. So you want to help these people. Have any thought on that, sir? To what the Reserve Bank should do it to see that our SME sector can be beneficial to have a rating. If rating can be improved, definitely they can get a rate of interest, other benefit they can avail from the banking sector. Doctor, sir, please give your thoughts. Mr. Doctor.
Thank you, Gupta ji, so much for inviting on the panel for a very important discussion. At the outset, in the context of what you have said, I would like to compliment for the title of the webinar today, Rethinking Credit Rating for SMEs. And I think that is very important. Something what Dr. Kailash also mentioned as an entrepreneur, I liked his views, but being an entrepreneur, they have their own way of looking at the things. As far as the entire current process is concerned, it is focusing on the credit worthiness of the unit which is being rated. And in the process, although the credit rating agency is doing the entire process, they know everything about the particular business, company, and the entrepreneur. But they are focusing only on the credit rating to provide financial comfort to the lender. And that is what the entire process is limited to today. Whether, as Mr. Patnaik mentioned, there are different grades. If you slightly default, you go from particular grade to particular grade. Now, the time has come where the entire system has to change. What is happening, Mr. Gupta, that when the credit rating is approaching a particular unit for the assessment, particularly an SME, they go through everything. Their entire process is so beautifully structured that they go through everything. But at the end of the day, They focus only on rating, which is on the financial credit worthiness of the unit. My strong suggestion is that the credit rating agencies should, because when they are doing the analysis study, they know very clearly that how the unit is being run and what are the basic issues which the unit is facing. They have the entire blueprint of the unit. But as per the current focus and as per the current mandate that they have, they give only on the credit rating. Actually, if, as Dr. Kailash said, if the mandate is changed of the credit rating agencies, or if unnecessary structure is being created, then what will happen? It will open a great road, it will open a great highway, freeway for the SMEs to grow. And today, with the kind of cluster, today 99.4% of the MSME units are micros. They are all ready to move to small and medium enterprises. Now, this is where the government has to rethink on the SME role, and whatever is required to it, they should support the SMEs by providing everything. How they can grow in a big way. Because it will require, they have the expertise, they have identified every possible issues which is stopping their growth. That is required to be done.
Good, good. That means 99% what you're talking about is a macro sector.
Micro.
Micro. I am also talking micro sector.
99.3 to 99.4, Guptaji, out of 6.4 crore units.
Yes. So what is your suggestion, sir, for that? What is your suggestion?
Suggestion is that because the credit rating agencies go through everything, they interact very closely with the business units, they should support the owner, entrepreneur. They have a lot of limitations in terms of growth. What Dr. Kailash said is just the tip of the iceberg. He talked about the cash flow. He talked about the systems.
Yes.
How he has made himself free from the routine aspects.
Okay, sir.
Now, there is a total gamut, 360-degree view has to be taken of the business and help SMEs to grow.
Okay.
And that is where credit rating agencies, because of their access and the expertise in terms of understanding the whole unit, today they are focusing only on the credit rating, whether to give AAA or whether to give -A or to give BBB or whatever. Instead of that, they should help in hand-holding for their growth, because they have identified every possible loophole in the system, loophole in the business running. And this is the rethinking which is required for credit rating of the SMEs.
Sir, you have also written book on this SME sector, and your rating, I think, is one of the part of that. Have any suggestion to the government? So what is your suggestion in your study? Because you have studied so much vastly for the rating also to SME growth also.
Yes.
So because it is being launched, so let me know what is your viewpoint for the ratings in your book you have mentioned. Anything you can say something?
Yes. See, in the book, what we have done is we have mentioned about the usefulness of the credit rating and its process for the SME owners, as well as how the process could be modified. The terms of reference, the entire mandate which has been given to the credit rating agencies, if need be, a separate structure can be created, because credit rating is one, and if the SMEs are to be supported, they need to work in tandem so that the unit can grow. Today, it is only confined to the rating process of lending. Business is much more than lending. There are so many aspects which are required to be done.
What are your suggestions, sir? I am just asking. Any suggestion? No, there, just like you are talking about the non-financial business, that should also done, because bank or rating agency are mostly concerned with the financial statement. If account has 1 day or 2 days, it is gone out of order, they say the rating will be decreased. or non-financial aspect, they never see to more thoroughly for that.
I,
Have any
I,
given some suggestions, something?
I differ on that. They know what are the different aspects because they study the business in 360-degree.
Okay.
What they need to do, this is the what we have suggested, that you basically help SMEs to grow. And for that, there would be a lot of other inputs which would be required besides the only rating part of it. Because while they are doing the rating, they come to know about the entire blueprint. It's like an X-ray of the entire business.
Okay.
They come to know everything, where the business is doing well, where the business is not doing well. Unfortunately, they focus only on the credit worthiness, which is useful to the lender. And based on which they decide on the rate of interest and what kind of things and other things are there. And we have seen in the past that in spite of the best credit rating, units have failed within a year.
Okay.
Or year or two. So this is where the rethinking of the entire credit rating process for SMEs is required to be changed. If need be, government can create two different mandates. If they have some, limitations in terms of giving the mandate to one particular unit, that the one who is offering some advisory, they cannot give the rating. So they may create different things. But SMEs need a tremendous support in terms of what is required to, because they are basically technocrats. They don't have much idea about the financial management and the management part of it. And as a result, they suffer.
I think that is a most important aspect. Rating agency for the SME sector should be different parameters. And I think mandate should be different, what you are talking about.
Yes,
I think this is an important aspect. In your book, I think people should understand once you release the book, as a borrower, as a banker also. So your viewpoint should be understood very clearly for that. So thank you, sir. I will come back to you. Now I'm coming to most important person, Mr. Maurice Jain. He's the founder of Finman Advisor. He's chartered accountant. Having a bulk knowledge of 16 years in the field of credit rating, I think he's expertise. He's the expert. I cannot. He is the only person, sir, who can guide us how the rating agencies should do for the SME sector. Sir Munish, sir, as
Yes.
we understand, so from the people that if they count cash flow gap is there, definitely the account will go out of order. And how protection can be there? Because the SME sector is facing so many problems. If he's not getting payment from their debtors, definitely he cannot, cash flow problem will be there. So how you feel that? How it can be protected? What protective steps should be taken by the SME or a rating agencies so that it should not be downgraded? The rating should not be downgraded. And rating can be improved. As Mr. Patnaik told, 80% of our SME rating is below the investment grade. So it is a very, very, you can say, dark positions. How it can be improved, sir? I think you are the only person who is guiding the rating agencies also, who is doing so many, for the entrepreneur, you are doing so many rating, and you are suggesting the companies. What is your view for the SME sector, sir? Jan, sir, please give your view, sir. Jan, sir.
Thank you for your love, Gupta ji. Thank you, sir. So, Gupta ji, of course, SMEs में liquidity management and timely debt servicing is बहुत crucial है.
Sir.
और सीजनल बिजनेसेस में कैश फ्लो मिसमैचेस के कारण हमने देखा है कि बहुत बार वर्किंग कैपिटल यूटिलाइजेशन बहुत बढ़ जाता है और पेमेंट डिलेज हो जाते हैं, तो इसके कारण बैंक लोन रेटिंग्स में डाउनग्रेड भी हो जाते हैं. तो व्हाट वी नॉर्मली सजेस्ट टू आवर क्लाइंट इन दिस काइंड ऑफ इंडस्ट्रीज जहाँ पे ये वर्किंग कैपिटल की रिक्वायरमेंट रहती है, ये सीजनल बिजनेसेस है और जो मिसमैचेस होते रहते हैं, तो उसमें कुछ छोटे से स्टेप्स है जो मैं थोड़े बड़े पॉइंट बता देता हूँ, जिससे अगर वो प्रॉपर क्लाइंट अगर फॉलो करे तो मोस्टली रेटिंग कभी डाउनग्रेड नहीं होगी, इनफैक्ट बेटर हो सकती है बिकॉज ऑफ हायर कॉर्पोरेट गवर्नेंस। तो
वेरी
सब ये है कि वी हैव टू, रेटिंग एजेंसीज को हमें बहुत अच्छे से एक्सप्लेन करना चाहिए अपना सीजनलिटी का पैटर्न क्या है, मंथली सेल्स क्या है, कैश फ्लोज क्या है, सो दैट दे कैन अंडरस्टैंड कि कहाँ कब हमें ज़रूरत पड़ती है। और कभी कोई एट पर्टिकुलर दिन पे जब बैलेंस शीट देख रहे हैं तब हमारी जो बैलेंस शीट है वो प्रॉपर नहीं है, या इट इज़ थोड़ी स्ट्रेच बैलेंस शीट दिख रही है। तो जैसे आप बोलोगे शुगर बिजनेसेस है, वहाँ पे मार्च की बैलेंस शीट में आपको बहुत ज़्यादा इन्वेंट्री और ये सब दिख जाएगी। तो ये वॉज टू बी एक्सप्लेन प्रॉपरली। देन आप ये समझो कि वी हैव सम क्लाइंट्स, वी हैव आल्सो सीन कि दे हैव क्रिएटेड सम रिजर्व अकाउंट, जहाँ पे वो कुछ 2 महीने 3 महीने का डसरा बना के रखते हैं, सो दैट सम मनी इज नॉट डसरा बट इट्स अ मनी अवेलेबल फॉर द रीपेमेंट फॉर नेक्स्ट 3 to 4 months, सो दैट इन केस ऑफ वर्किंग कैपिटल मिसमैचेस एटलीस्ट पेमेंट्स हैपन्स ऑन टाइम। लास्टली बहुत सारे कंपनीज में what they do, they negotiate better payment terms with the supplier. तो normally supplier से 30 दिन ले रहे होते हैं credit, they try and ask for 60 days 90 days credit to ease the requirement. And also receivables में they also try to give some cash discount to their customers so that they can get the money faster. उसके अलावा जैसे आप भी बहुत सारी कंपनीज को हेल्प करते हो इन टर्म्स ऑफ गेटिंग देम इनवॉइस डिस्काउंटिंग एंड बिल डिस्काउंटिंग लिमिट्स फ्रॉम द बैंक्स, पैकिंग क्रेडिट और पोस्ट शिपमेंट फाइनेंस फ्रॉम द बैंक, वो भी बहुत हेल्प करता है। बिकॉज जैसे आपने बिल किया एंड इफ यू गेट कैन डिस्काउंट इट विद द बैंक्स एंड गेट द मनी, दैट ऑल्सो हेल्प्स। एंड बहुत सारी कंपनीज ऐसे करती है। एंड इनफैक्ट अच्छी चीज़ ये है कि आजकल जो ये सीजनल बिजनेसेस है, मेनली कमोडिटी बेस्ड बिजनेसेस है, वहाँ पे बैंक्स प्लेज लोन और ये सब भी देती है। तो वहाँ अगेंस्ट इन्वेंट्री हमें प्लेज लोन मिल जाता है, वो सब मिल जाता है, तो उससे भी लिक्विडिटी मैच हो जाती है। तो दैट इज़ मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट कि इन ऑल द पॉसिबल सिनेरियोज एमएसएमई या एसएमई या एनी कॉर्पोरेट क्लाइंट उसको विद दिस ऑल दी पॉसिबल ऑप्शंस कुछ ना कुछ ट्राई करके मेक श्योर करना चाहिए कि कभी भी कोई भी इंटरेस्ट पेमेंट या कोई ईएमआई या कोई इंस्टॉलमेंट पेमेंट डिले ना रहे, या डिले एक दिन से भी ना हो, और एक ट्रैक रिकॉर्ड अच्छा रखे जिससे रेटिंग एजेंसी को कॉन्फिडेंस आए और रेटिंग इंप्रूव होती जाए। बिकॉज एज पर नॉर्म्स वो एक भी दिन का डिले हुआ तो उनके लिए रेटिंग एजेंसी के लिए प्रॉब्लम हो जाती है।
Okay.
सो दैट इज व्हाट गुप्ता जी।
फिर सर पुनीत जी, जैसे आपने बताया है ना, अभी ये सीजनल इंडस्ट्री होती है, जैसे शुगर व्हाट यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट, उसमें मार्च में इन्वेंट्री ज्यादा होती है, तो दैट असेसमेंट शुड बी डन इन ए डिफरेंट मैनर व्हाट यू टॉकिंग अबाउट। एंड आपके दूसरा कह रहे हैं ये फंड जो है, इन केस ऑफ ए पेमेंट आर नॉट रिसीव दे शुड कीप द फंड आइडल फंड। सर उसमें एसएमई सेक्टर में होता नहीं है, तो दैट इज ए मेजर इशू। लेकिन सर इसमें नॉन फाइनेंशियल जो फैक्टर्स हैं उसके बारे में क्या रेटिंग एजेंसी शुड नॉट कंसीडर इंस्टेड ऑफ द फाइनेंशियल फैक्टर व्हाट यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट, और बैलेंस शीट फैक्टर तो नॉन फाइनेंशियल्स है, मैनेजमेंट है, उनकी प्रोडक्शन हो रही है, सेल हो रही है, मार्केटिंग है, as such non-financial aspect should also not consider by the party, because you are help of fair of the our industry and you are helping the people so to improve the rating. So what is your suggestion for non-financial, sir?
ना डेफिनेटली सर, रेटिंग एजेंसीज जब अपना रेटिंग्स देती हैं स्पेशली इन द बीएलआर रेटिंग्स,
Sir,
दे ऑल्सो लुक आफ्टर द नॉन फाइनेंशियल पैरामीटर्स ऑल्सो। कि ऐसा नहीं सिर्फ फाइनेंशियल पैरामीटर रेटिंग है, जैसे नॉन फाइनेंशियल पैरामीटर लाइक मैनेजमेंट रिस्क, बिजनेस रिस्क,
sir,
इंडस्ट्री रिस्क, गवर्नेंस एंड कंप्लायंस। जैसे आप मैनेजमेंट में अगर बात करें तो मतलब प्रमोटर्स के क्या प्रोफाइल है, उनकी क्या एक्सपीरियंस है, क्वालिफिकेशंस है, ट्रैक रिकॉर्ड है, उनकी
sir,
जो पुरानी ट्रैक रिकॉर्ड ऑफ पेमेंट्स क्या है, इंटीग्रिटीज क्या है, उनकी डेट पॉलिसीज क्या है, एंड ऑल दिस प्रमोटर साइड में, मैनेजमेंट साइड में देखा जाता है। और जहाँ
yes.
इसमें प्रॉब्लम क्या होती है कि बहुत बार प्रमोटर ये एक्सप्लेन नहीं करते हैं अच्छे से। दैट इज व्हाट दे हैव
Hmm.
टू डू, दे एक्सप्लेन देयर एक्सपीरियंस, दे एक्सप्लेन देयर क्वालिफिकेशंस, दे एक्सप्लेन देयर टेक्निकल एक्सपर्टीज, मैनेजमेंट कैपेबिलिटी, इंटीग्रिटी, ट्रैक रिकॉर्ड, एवरीथिंग। So that is also very important for rating agency, the promoter profile and all. Second, when you say the business model, that is also मतलब जो रेटिंग एजेंसी बहुत अच्छे से देखती है, जहाँ वो रेटिंग एजेंसी सब टाइप की जो बिजनेस रिस्क है, हाउ प्रमोटर मैनेजेस इज लाइक इन्वेंट्री रिस्क कैसे मैनेज कर रहा है, डेटा रिस्क कैसे मैनेज कर रहे हैं, फॉरेक्स रिस्क कैसे मैनेज कर रहे हैं, मार्केट में डिमांड सप्लाई का जो मिसमैनेजमेंट या इंडस्ट्री में कोई रिस्क है वो कैसे मैनेज करते हैं। तो दैट ऑल्सो प्ले अ क्रूशियल रोल। तो कोई कंपनी जहाँ पे ये रिस्क मिटिगेशन स्ट्रेटजीज बहुत अच्छे हैं, जहाँ फॉरेक्स रिस्क पॉलिसी, हेजिंग पॉलिसीज है, जहाँ इन्वेंट्री बैक टू बैक है ऑर्डर के अगेंस्ट, वहाँ रेटिंग को बेनिफिट में, जहाँ कस्टमर और सप्लायर डाइवर्सिफाइड है, लो कंसंट्रेशन है, वहाँ रेटिंग को बेनिफिट मिलती है, तो वो भी देखा जाता है। और उसके अलावा जैसे आप जैसे देखा इंडस्ट्री प्रोफाइल क्या है, और थोड़ा बहुत उस पर भी डिपेंड करता है। एंड सब लास्ट जो आज बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट हो गया, जिसके कारण हमारे निकुंज जी भी बहुत बोलेंगे ईएसजी के बारे में, जैसे गवर्नेंस एंड कंप्लायंस प्रैक्टिसेस के लिए। तो कॉर्पोरेट गवर्नेंस जो एमएसएमई में पहले बहुत कम हुआ करती थी, जैसे धीरे धीरे अभी इम्प्रूव भी हो गई है। टाइमली पेमेंट करना, सारे जीएसटी, इनकम टैक्स, टीडीएस, प्रोविडेंट फंड, ईएसआई, वो सब, चेक बाउंसेस नहीं होना, कंसिस्टेंट बैंकिंग प्रैक्टिसेस, लिमिट यूटिलाइजेशन थोड़ा सा कम रखने की कोशिश करना, बैंक जितनी भी लिमिट है उससे, बुक्स एंड अकाउंट्स एंड एवरीथिंग प्रॉपर रिकनसाइल्ड हो, फाइनेंशियल्स और प्रोविजनल फाइनेंशियल जो आ रहे हैं वो एकदम प्रॉपर हो। तो ऐसे कंप्लायंसेस इंप्रूव भी हो रहे हैं, और ये कंप्लायंसेस को भी बहुत अच्छा वैल्यू दिया जाता है रेटिंग एजेंसीज में। तो ये सब जो नॉन फाइनेंशियल मैटर्स है, ये सब भी बहुत अच्छे से रेटिंग एजेंसी वैल्यू देती है। बट बहुत बार बिजनेसेस या कंपनीज उसको अच्छे से एक्सप्लेन नहीं करते हैं, और रेटिंग तो वो कहीं कहीं मिसमैच हो जाता है। अदरवाइज अपार्ट फ्रॉम फाइनेंशियल, दिस ऑल ऑल्सो वी हैव सीन इन मैनी कंपनीज, जहाँ पे ये सब चीज़ों के कारण भी रेटिंग हैज़ बीन इम्प्रूव्ड, रेटिंग हैज़ गॉट, दे डिस्पाइट लोअर फाइनेंशियल दे हैव गॉट बेटर रेटिंग्स एंड एवरीथिंग। और वो हम सब बहुत अच्छे से ही इसको पूरा पैरामीटर्स को देखते हैं, एंड दिस इज हाउ द साइंस है रेटिंग की।
Excellent, Manisha. Excellent, Manisha. I think you are helping the entrepreneur. I must appreciate you. And what you are giving thoughts, you are helping when we are, even we are approaching you. You try to help the entrepreneur, guiding the proper. So major aspect what we are talking about the proper awareness नहीं है सर एसएमई सेक्टर में. दैट इज a point which you also mentioning कि उनको मालूम नहीं है प्रॉपर कैसे उसको प्रेजेंट किया जाए. आई थिंक दिस इज मेजर एस्पेक्ट. थैंक यू सर. आई may come to you again
और
सर.
आप उस कैटेगरी में आप बहुत अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं सर, सबको एजुकेट कर रहे हैं, वेबिनार्स कर रहे हैं। आपने अभी तक 250-300 वेबिनार्स कर लिए हैं, तो सर ये बहुत
Sir,
अच्छा
sir,
है
sir.
आप।
Sir, with your good wishes, you also, whenever we ask you, sir, you always there. तो वी आर रियली थैंकफुल टू यू. एंड मैं तो देख रहा हूँ सर इंडस्ट्री में आपका नाम रेटिंग में. कोई भी आदमी होता है हम तो कहते हैं मुनीष जी के पास जाइए, ही विल हेल्प यू, एंड यू आर हेल्पिंग पर्सन. आई मस्ट अप्रिशिएट यू एंड योर गेस्चर आल्सो. Really, you are playing a very important role for the SME sector, sir. I'm thankful to you. Now I'm coming to Mr. Nicole Dubey, sir. He's expert. Nicole Dubey is an EHG and credit risk professional with over 14 years of experience as across ESG rating, credit analysis, and risk framework. दुबे साहब, वेलकम यू सर. दुबे
Thank
जी,
you.
आपका रोल जबरदस्त है. दैट्स व्हाई आई केप्ट यू इन लास्ट. तो ईसीजी, सर ईसीजी है क्या? हाउ इट कैन बी हेल्पफुल टू माय स्मॉल एंटरप्रेन्योर? जो कैपिटल फॉर्मेशन व्हाट यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट इज अ डिफिकल्ट. तो यदि हम ये कर लेते हैं, ईएसजी कर देते हैं, तो वेदर द एसएमई सेक्टर कैन बी हैव ए मोर capital investment can be increased with this factor, sir. Have any view on that, sir? What is your role for the SME sector, sir? Mr. Dubey, please.
Thank you, Mr. Gupta. And great discussion till now with all the panelists. Happy to hear their views and comments on SMEs. Uh, just to give you a very small understanding, I am representing CareEdge ESG Rating. So we are the SEBI registered India's premier ESG rating company. And what we are doing is that we are rating and assessing companies based on their environmental, social, and governance related parameters, and providing a comprehensive 360-degree evaluation that can help them to portray their positioning, standing against by benchmarking against the industry, and to showcase how they are moving on sustainability practice. Now, why is this important? One, still now, it was only credit risk which was getting evaluated. But over a period of time, now being more proactive towards environmental and social issues also is becoming highly crucial. Example being, you are working as an organization, and if you are manufacturing something which is harming the environment, so as a company, now it is becoming your responsibility to also do something about the environment. Similar way on the social aspects also, we're talking about equal pay. We're talking about more female representation in the organization. Companies who they are generating different significant or whatever amount of profit should also contribute something towards community support. So today, it's not only banks which are important as one stakeholder. Now, even customers or the suppliers have also started asking questions from the companies that what are you doing about ESG practice? And there are numerous examples that will follow where these things will get discussed further. But how access to funding is getting inbuilt via your ESG performance. So until now, agar if we will see, till now it was only the banks or the capital market which is there in terms of bonds, which was there available for funding. But slowly and gradually over the past 5, 6 years, we also have a set of investors which are impact investors. And these investors are basically looking to lend money to those entities which are doing responsible work in terms of environment or a social side. So a lot of investors are wanting to fund these kind of companies. And this is where the importance is. And because these investors are impact investors, their cost of borrowing is also lower compared to the regular borrowing. And SMEs can tap that market. And for that, the SMEs need to be ready, for which they will have to start do reporting data on ESG parameters, conduct an ESG rating of their organization, and showcase their performance to the different stakeholders who are there in the market.
Sir, you have any example for the SME sector where ESG rating was there? There have been benefited for the SME sector. Have anything in your mind?
So, okay, so Indian examples also there are many. Globally, definitely there are many examples. But why this one needs to very clearly also understand that SMEs are the value chain partners for the large organizations.
Okay.
And every banker, investor, stakeholder is actually definitely asking the large organizations to become much more compliant on ESG.
Okay.
Now, if the large organizations have to become compliant, their supply chain also needs to become compliant. So that is one part where this is necessary. Now,
Okay.
how this is happening, we'll look at certain examples. So, this was one example where, so there is a clean tech SME in Chennai. It's called Proclean Technologies. So they are basically producing non-toxic, biodegradable industrial cleaners.
Okay.
So they produce this. So what they are saying is that we are giving more environmental friendly products in the market, which are replacing the harmful products.
Okay.
So what happened with this by doing this thing? They were able to showcase their ESG initiatives by this product. They went ahead and they got a significant amount of grant from the VC fund of IIM Ahmedabad. They were also able to onboard certain global customers in the FMCG space and textile space
Okay.
because these FMCG and textile companies wanted sustainable supply partners. So this is what it resulted. Similar way, there is an agriculture-based tech SME startup called Fresho Carts. So they were offering agri-related advisory services to farmers via their digital platform. So what they were doing, this is from a social aspect now. They are helping farmers to upgrade themselves by capacity building. They are giving them knowledge sharing. So what happened with them was that they were able to secure funding from Impact Investor Fund, which was Upaya Social Ventures.
Okay.
And they got, because of these venture partners, they were able to get certain partnerships with leading agribusiness majors. So
Okay.
these are one of the examples, and there are many in every field. In renewable energy, you will see there are a lot of fundings
That
happening.
means that
In the
what you're
field
talking,
of social entrepreneurship, there
think
are things that are
ESG
happening.
rating can play important role for the capital raising or a funding also. What you're
Yeah,
talking.
correct.
Have any suggestion to our entrepreneur who are listening to you in the SME sector? Any suggestion from your side at a last word to them, which can be beneficial to these people?
Well, what I would definitely suggest to everyone is that ESG is about to come. We cannot run away from it.
Okay,
Tomorrow, today, the banks are already working in the process of how to give benefit of this ESG rating to the borrowers.
okay.
In some 10 point of time in the near future, this will happen. So if you're not doing well on ESG compliance, you will be charged higher rates of interest. My suggestion would be that there is a lot of knowledge in the public domain. We would definitely be happy if the SMEs reach out to us. We will help them in terms of knowledge sharing. But they need to start reporting on this ESG related non-financial data, start measuring it in their company, and start reporting it slowly. You don't have to report everything in day one, but start reporting. It will
Very
help
nice, sir.
you a
Very
lot.
nice. Very nice. Now I'm coming to Munish Jain. Jain, sir,
Yes,
have
sir.
any suggestion to our entrepreneur? Last word, few word. You want to say something to our entrepreneurs who are listening to you?
Definitely, sir. Entrepreneurs are the one who is running the country, and they are putting their sweat and blood to do the businesses. But the only thing is that they, of course, उनका एक ही सजेशन है कि सर उनको थोड़ा सा दे हैव टू स्लोली कम इनटू दिस फॉर्मल वर्ल्ड ऑफ थिंग्स, जहाँ पे बैंक से लोन लेना या आईपीओस करना या फंड रेज करना बहुत आसान हो रहा है. वंस दे बिकम मोर प्रोफेशनल, कंप्लायंस स्ट्रॉन्ग कर लें या फाइनेंशियल प्रॉपर दिखाएं, तो बिजनेसेस को और ज़्यादा ग्रोथ मिलेगी, और ज़्यादा अच्छे से कर पाएंगे, एंड देन कंट्री विल ग्रो फर्दर.
Thank you very much.
थैंक यू
Dr.
सर.
Chaitanya Shah. Chaitanya Shah, sir, have
Yeah,
you any word? Last word you can say, suggest something to our entrepreneur who are listening to you?
as mentioned, the credit rating process, when they are doing, they know so many things about, except for focusing only on the financial credit worthiness, triple A, triple two, and all that. The credit rating agencies should basically help all the SMEs in their growth, how they can really grow. They have the potential, but there are certain blockages which they really need to help. And because of their credit rating process, they know exactly where they are getting stuck. This is a very, very clear thing which is required to be done.
Very nice. Now I'm coming to Mr. Patnaik. Patnaik, sir, have last word. Mr.
Yeah.
Patnaik, any suggestion from your
Yeah.
side, Mr. Patnaik?
Yes, sir. Yeah, good evening. Yeah, of course, all the panel speakers talked about the present scenario and what is expected. Definitely, there is a every need to change the orientation of funding to MSME by the banking system, and also the way rating models to be developed for the MSME. Probably is only one you hope that things will evolve maybe in the short to medium term. And you see that all this whatever third party data available from the public domain and all will get factored both in financing and ratings. That's what my hope. Definitely, I think industry associations will definitely approaching the government, through government, approaching all the institutions, so that over a period of time this ecosystem will stabilize. That's what my view.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
At the end, I think today topic was very, very important. Rethinking credit rating for SME sector, and you should look beyond the balance sheet. I think so. We try to discuss how SME sector, this rating can play important roles. So that model of the rating should also undergo a change. That is the nutshell. Different model had to be adopted for the SME sector instead of going for the only financial statement, or you can say that means non-financial aspect, as Mr. Jain also mentioning, and Dr. Chaitanya Shah also mentioning, and Mr. Dubey sir is also mentioning, that is important. Above all, what Mr. Dr. Kailash were talking about the trust. Trust is more important aspect, which has to develop by the SME sector. Because trust is important things to foreign lending and ethics. So in the end, I'm thankful to all my participants, all my eminent speakers. I think this webinar, virtual webinar, was a practical webinar. Instead of putting all of slide or something, so we are not talking that. We are talking from our heart. We are thankful to all the speakers. And behind that, research in India. We are a merchant banker. We are an investment banker. We are also preparing a DPR for any project financing, even for SME sectors. Even for a rating, we are also advisory. And our mentor is Munish Jain. So we are referring such cases to Munish Jain also. So he is also guiding factor for us to improve the rating for the SME or other people also. If anybody interested for a rating advisory services, so they can approach the Research in India. And we are also a desk of ESG that we also started ESG rating at the desk of a researchant. So that you can also approach us, or we can also guide you how to have a rating for that, how to rating can be improvement of that. Further, we are an association for financial advisor, under whose banner we are doing this webinar. So we are more than 400 members with us, as who are the mostly financial advisors. If you also want to become the member of the association, please approach us, please write to us, or become the member. So mostly every month or every week, we are doing some webinar on a different subject. Even ICICI Bank is also associated with us. So for that, we are doing every month webinar under the banner of the Association for Financial Advisor. We are thankful to my off-the-screen people like Rajan and Mr. Deveshish, Mr. Lokesh, Mr. Ankar Singh, and who are not visible on the screen. Still, with their help, with their support, this webinar is possible. So I think with this word of my eminent speakers, for the participant, I am thankful to them for participating. I think there was no question. Nobody asked any question. If any question, please write to us. So we will plan to reply you. Any assistance is required to Research in India, even Association for Financial Advisor is at your disposal. Thank you very much. Again, I end this program because I overstretched it 10 minutes. Because it was necessity for that. Any guidance is required, please do write to us. Or any webinar you want should be held by us in next month. So we are also ready to do that webinar. Thank you. I'm really thankful to everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mr.
Thank you,
Gupta.
sir.
Pleasure.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Gupta ji.
Thank you, sir. Munesh ji, thank you very much. आप हमें oblige करते
Thank
हैं.
you,
We
sir.
are really thankful to you, sir, Munesh ji.
थैंक यू सर। और सर प्लीज अभी मिलने आओ सर, लंच करते हैं साथ में।
आप जब कहो आ जाएंगे सर। मैं अब कल तो
ट्यूसडे
जा
का
रहा हूँ
लंच,
दिल्ली।
ट्यूसडे।
कल तो दिल्ली जा रहा हूँ, फिर आके मिलता हूँ सर आपसे। ठीक है सर?
आके मेरे को फोन करो सर।
पक्का सर, 100% सर। थैंक यू वेरी मच सर। थैंक यू।